इधर देख के मेरे को
it's running, right? Sure, fine. Last class, those who were present, I hope you remember we have done these things, right? So no. पीछे क्यों बैठो? Why don't you come and sit? You are sitting in that side. And I want everybody's phone inside that drawer. The drawer is there, right? Everybody's phone should be inside that drawer. When some class is related to your mobile phone, you use your mobile phone. Otherwise, keep it inside. Inside your bag, inside the drawer or whatever. Done? Fine. So, we have seen all these things, right? Tributaries, meander and all those things. Delta, sources, floodplain. So, about river, it was over, right? And those who have written their notes, you can just turn the pages, you can see till where we have finished, right? So, all the depositional as well as erosional feature of the river we have done, right? And we are in which chapter? We are in which chapter? So, weathering chapter? Okay. So, weathering is a chapter or there is something else? In geography, in physical geography, exogenic forces, right? So, exogenic forces, they are inside the earth or they are outside the earth?
Inside.
Exogenic forces, they are inside the earth or they are outside the earth?
Outside.
Outside the earth. अच्छा थोड़ी देर में you should not say that we are not talking about earth, we are talking about Mars or some other planet, right? So remember that we are in earth. In earth, endogenic is already over. Now we are in the exogenic forces, right? And in exogenic forces, we have seen weathering, right? Weathering, physical weathering, chemical weathering, all those weatherings, biological weathering we have seen. And now we are into the erosional and depositional features of some important things like we have river, we have glaciers, we have karst topography, we have this one, glacial topographies, all those things. So that is what we are going to see here. So river is already done, and in that course we have seen about this mouth, tributary, meander, delta, source, estuaries, everything, right? So oxbow lake, these things you are aware about, right? So now next we are going to talk about the glaciers. Okay, so can anyone tell me where do we find glaciers? Where do we have glaciers in the world?
Cold places.
Near poles? Okay, so how many poles we have? Which are those two poles? North Pole and South Pole. Can anyone just tell me the which what degree latitude we have? What degree latitude to what degree latitude we have something called as North Pole and South Pole? First chapter.
Longitude is about 7.3.
Longitude? Talking about latitude.
Latitude 83, 82.3
82.3.
east.
East. Latitude will be never in an east or west direction. It will be in a north and south direction. We should start from scratch. Again, latitude, longitude chapter. What degree you will find the polar region? Or the south pole is located at what degree? 180 degree. Very good. 0 degree. Very good. Clap for yourself. Or you can pat your back with your hand.
6.45.
6.45? What is
Towards
6?
north.
What is 6.45?
6 degree, 40 feet as north.
What I am asking?
Latitude.
What is latitude? And how many important latitudes are there? First is what is latitude? Acha, what is latitude? Anyone? East to west. West to west. East to west. Latitude.
North to south.
Latitude. East to west. Or अभी तक वही नहीं clear है. That is only not clear. What is what is the difference between longitude and latitude? Longitude is long, latitude is what? Lat. Very good. Good definition. Huh?
Longitude represents the time.
Longitude represents the time. Okay. Total, how many longitudes we are having? How many longitudes we have drawn on the Earth?
One.
180.
One.
One. Longitude is one. You are not there in first class of geography? Very good. Then don't speak. Longitude. How many longitudes we are having? But you are surely you have passed your 6th standard, 7th standard, right? Then it is. And with good marks in class, maybe you would have been topped in those classes, right? Very good. So, what about others? Longitude. ऊपर जाना ऊपर. Longitude. Latitude. What is the difference between longitude and latitude? What is the use of latitude and longitude? How many were there in the first geography class? Just raise your hand. My beloved students. How many were there? Only 3 were there. What about others? Others were not there in the first geography class. So it was my fault? No? Very good. So don't study that. Okay? And remember that if you don't know what is latitude, longitude, forget about geography. Forget about whole geography. You can never pass the geography examination. Okay? Remember that. And you can write it down in your notebook. If I didn't attended the chapter number 1, which is about longitude and latitude, and if I don't know about longitude, latitude, some important lines, I can never pass my examination with the help of the geography. Okay? Star mark and write it down. You can write it with the red pen. Fine. So I don't have that work to again repeat all those chapters. I am thinking that you already know about latitude and longitude. Fine. So we were there in the glacier, right? So where do we find these glaciers? Only Himalayas. Poles, right? So if you don't know where is pole or at what degree they are located, whether it is in mid of the earth, whether it is on the top of the earth, whether it is on the bottom of the earth. Okay, so it's very difficult to understand where these glaciers will be. Okay, and here again I am going to take it into a deeper section, right? Here we are going to see something more deep about these glaciers. Okay, so here rather than explaining you about the glaciers, I am going to tell you about some important terms or some important features which are made by the glaciers. Okay, and these glaciers also have features like depositional and erosional. They also perform some activities by depositing some materials and by eroding some materials. So that we have to see. Right. Okay. Any movie which is related to these glaciers? Any movie which is related to glaciers? Very famous movie. Ice Age. Okay. Okay. Any other movie? Titanic. Right? Why Titanic got sank?
It got catched in ice.
Ice what? Which ice? There was snowfall. Then iceberg, right? So these terms you would have heard, right? Iceberg. But how? What is their importance? How they are formed, or how they are related to the glaciers? Okay, in which place Titanic got sink? In which place? How many of you watched Titanic movie? Baki? Remaining people, you are waiting to get old? Or you are planning to watch in your 60s, 70s during old age? When you will have a great diseases like Alzheimer, where you cannot remember anything. Okay, that is one of the epic movie. You should watch that. Okay? Anyhow, studies you are not interested, right? Interested, not interested? खुशी से बता रहे हैं not interested. Very good. Okay, fine. So if you are not interested, then also you have to study, because this is some kind of compulsion which you have to do. Okay, fine. So in movies, in TVs, in some Discovery Channel, those who have seen, you might have seen something called as a glacier. Glacier, whenever we say glacier, one picture will come in your mind, and that is related to full of ice, full of snow, or full of this kind of structure will be there, right? So these things generally they are found in regions like polar region. Polar region means near the top of the North Pole and bottom in the South Pole. And we have two continents also, like we have Arctic Circle and down we have Antarctic Circle, right? So Antarctica, it is a continent, right, which is full of these ice sheets or these glaciers, right? So Antarctica is having a largest glacier of the world also, right? And then we have some other places, like we have some higher mountain regions. Higher mountain regions where in those places also you will find this kind of ice sheets. Okay, ice sheets or this glacier region. Like basic example is your Himalayan, right? We have Siachen Glacier, right? Very famous. So these kind of glaciers, they will be found generally in the higher altitude, or maybe nearer to the higher latitudes. Okay, whenever you move to the higher latitudes, you will find this kind of glaciers, or with increasing the altitude, you will find this kind of glaciers, right? So they are something which is made up of a huge amount of ice particles or snow particles. So that is what these glaciers are. Now, do these glaciers, they melt or they are kept as it is? So how do they melt? Okay, what is the biggest climatic disaster which we are thinking that we will face in future? Global warming. Suppose if global warming happens, first question, how this global warming will happen? What is the cause behind this global warming?
Heat of Earth's surface.
Heating of the earth. Okay. Any other thing? Greenhouse gas. Okay, what is greenhouse gas? What is greenhouse gases? Majority science side, right? Science. In commerce they don't teach greenhouse gases.
Chlorofluorocarbons.
CFC, okay. Then CO2. CO2 is the major content of greenhouse gases, right? Okay, so there are some gases which are related to greenhouse. But why does what these gases they do? How they exist? They emit heat.
They deplete the ozone layer.
They deplete the ozone layer. Okay, that is like from CFC and all those chlorofluorocarbons. But how CO2 is increasing the temperature of the earth? What does this CO2 and these particles, these molecules, they are increasing the temperature of the earth? Nitrogen, then you will say oxygen, then argon, then so many things are there. What exactly happens when we say that the temperature of earth is increasing? Ice melts. When there will be increase in temperature, then only ice will melt. What exactly happens?
Because of deforestation.
Because of deforestation.
And
Okay.
major acid rain of nitrous oxide and sulfur oxide.
Achha, very good. So, what happens due to deforestation?
CO2 will increase more.
CO2 will increase.
Yes,
Okay.
and that will heat the Earth's surface. Cause of that, global warming. One said global warming is happening.
Okay, suppose if there is huge amount of CO2, but how this CO2 is related to the increase of the temperature? Already CO2 is present, right? So how it is related to the increase of the temperature? CO2 was there when this earth formed, right? It was from the time the formation of the earth. But how this CO2 is related to the increase of the temperature of the earth? I think 7th standard or 8th standard. There is big diagram of the earth's surface, and earth has something called as atmosphere. in that atmosphere. Now you'll remember slowly. Okay, in that Earth atmosphere there are some gases, right? Sunlight comes inside. Then these gases which will be there in the atmosphere, they will not allow this heat to emit back to this atmosphere. So when this heat will be retained inside the Earth, it will increase the temperature of the Earth. Have you heard this story ever before? So this is the same story, which is the reason behind the increasing of the Earth temperature. So we want to reduce this gases so that the heat which is penetrating to the Earth's surface, it should also go back to the atmosphere, right? So this is what the reason or phenomena behind the increase of the temperature of the Earth. Fine. That is the climatology chapter that we will deal later. But here, due to the increase of temperature, something is happening, that is melting of these glaciers. Okay. So whenever these glaciers they melt, the water or these ice particles, they will be breaking down, and they will be coming down from the mountainous regions or from the like we have different continents like Antarctic and all. So from there, this these particles of the snow, they will be keep on sliding from that surface of the rocks. Okay, so when they slide from that surface of the rocks, they create some feature as well as they destroy some feature. So that feature itself, it is called as depositional and erosional feature of glacier, which will be creating some formation. Fine. So okay. First I'll explain you through diagrams, then I'll make you write. Fine. So suppose if this region is full of glacier, whenever this ice will melt down, it will start flowing. Okay, it will start flowing downwards. Okay, whenever it will start flowing, it will form from some features like we have now. There are some terms like horn is there, right? So this horn is like the top of the mountain. This kind of structure, it is called as horn. Whenever there is a melt of this ice, here this structure will be called as horn. Okay. Then we have arete. Arete is nothing but this kind of long valley kind of thing, right? Then you have hanging valley, the area which will be carved out due to this pressure of this ice sheets. So in that way you will have a hanging valley. Like this creeks will be there, this flat area, this flat land will be called as a creek. So this kind of structure, this kind of erosional features will be made by this glacier. Okay, this glacier. Now these are some arete, these are the same, some terms are there like arete, then coir, that I will explain you one by one. Then here you have something called as moraines, and this was asked in your examination. What is moraine, or moraines are formed in which type of depositional or erosional feature? Now suppose if you have this glacier region, slowly this glacier will start melting and they will start flowing by making a surface, a river kind of structure. So the land which will be near to this fluid kind of this structure will be there, the water content will be there, it will make a path kind of structure. So these paths which are made near to this glaciers, these are called as moraines. Okay, in moraines also you have different types of moraine. So and here this down area, it will be called as plains. It will be called as plains. So in glacier region or in the mountainous region also you will have some kind of plain, and these plains are called as outwashed plain. So like this you have some depositional and erosional feature. So one by one we will see these things. But first you write down about the what is glacier, or what is the importance of the glacier, or what like how they are formed. Fine. So the first thing, write down. Glacier is a huge mass. Write down fast. Okay. Glacier is a huge mass of ice. Glacier is a huge mass of ice that moves slowly. Along the mountain slope. Along the mountain slope. They are also referred as they are also referred as river of ice. River of ice. Okay, so here you have two things. One is called as snow field and another is called as snow line. Okay, snow field will be the area which is covered with the snow. Okay, it will be fully covered with the snow, and snow line will be from where the snow will start melting. The snow will start melting. That will be called as snow line. And here the area which will be covered with the snow, fully covered with the snow, that will be called as snow field. Okay, so these two things you have to remember. Next, write down. There are three types of glaciers. There are three types of glaciers. First, continental glacier. First, continental glacier. Inside continental glacier, write down. Continental glacier, write down. Okay. These are found in polar regions. These are found in polar regions, and all the precipitation happens in the form of snow. All the precipitation happens in the form of snow. What is precipitation? What is precipitation? Meaning of precipitation. Meaning of precipitation. गिरना? किसको गिरना? Only rain. What about it?
Like vapor.
हाँ? Vapor? Vapor तो ऊपर जाता है. Snow और what is meaning of precipitation? Falling of what?
Ice.
Water.
Falling of anything which is in the form of water, which is any like whether it is water, whether it is snow, whether it is hailstorm, whatever it is in the form of water, so that is called as precipitation, right? Fine. So in glaciers there will be a precipitation. It will be in the form of snow. Okay. So that you have to remember. Then write down. Okay. As a result, yes, continue. As a result, बेटा लिखो. तुम नहीं लिख रहे हो क्या? यू आर नॉट राइटिंग. तुम क्या कर रहे हो? हैं? मैथ्स कर रहे हो तुम. और कौन मैथ्स कर रहा है? तुम मैथ्स कर रहे हो. तुम यू आर राइटिंग ना? तुम उन भैया से ना मैथ्स मत करना. ठीक है? तो अपना मैथ्स अपने साथ कर. No, he was asking doubt. He can ask me. I'm still alive here. Okay? और तुमसे डाउट पूछ रहा है. नहीं इंटेलिजेंट. फिर भैया बेवकूफ. अच्छा ठीक है, जो भी है फोकस ऑन इट. हाँ, फाइन. सो write it down what I was saying.
As a
result, these regions are covered. As a result, these regions are covered by an extensive ice mass. By an extensive ice mass. Example is Greenland. Example is Greenland, Antarctica. In that, the next point, write down. When the waves of the sea strike against the ice sheets and breaks into blocks of floating ice. It is known as iceberg. It is known as iceberg. And this iceberg was the reason behind the sink of Titanic. Okay, fine. Next, this is the first one. Second, ice cap. Next, ice cap or ice caps. Second one, ice caps. It is the covering of snow. It is the covering of snow and ice. Snow and ice on the ocean of poles. On the ocean of poles. The ocean of poles. Okay. Do we have oceans near to poles? Do we have any ocean near to pole? What are those oceans? And Atlantic Ocean, Arctic Ocean and Antarctic Ocean, or Antarctic Ocean is also called as Southern Ocean, right? So we have some oceans, and in these oceans also there is a formation of this ice sheets and some snow. So here we have ice caps, which is found in the ocean near to the poles. Okay. Next, in that write down, the ice caps can cover. The ice cap can cover a vast areas with extensive accumulation of snow and ice. The third one, mountain and valley glaciers. Right down. These are also known as alpine glaciers. Do we have something called as alpine forest? Have you heard something like this? Okay, where do we find this alpine forest? How would they look like? Christmas tree. Okay, the best example is Christmas tree, or also called as coniferous tree, right? So these alpine forests will be found in the alpine region. Alpine means something which is at a higher altitude. Okay, it is something at a higher altitude. So these glaciers, though because they are in the higher altitude, they are also called as alpine glaciers. Next, write down. They flow like tongues of tongue. You have tongue, right? Tongue for taste. You have, right? So that tongue. They flow like tongues of the ice down through mountain valleys from the ice caps. They are generally found in Himalayan region. And all such high mountain ranges. Okay, fine. So these are the types of the glaciers, right? Now, next thing. Have you seen that mountaineers, they go to the Himalayas, they climb to the different peaks, right? So will they? Have you seen that? Like, have you heard in the news that many people, they fall from that slopey region, and like they are buried inside the snow or inside the ice? Okay, so what exactly happens there, or what is the feature, or what is the phenomena behind that, through which they fall in that pit or something on which they fall and they die? So that is called as something called as crevasses. Crevasses are a wide gap. There will be a gap between ice. Okay, ice particles. There will be a big, huge amount of gap. Whenever this ice will fall from that gap, with these mountaineers, they will also fall in these crevasses. And whenever they will fall, they will be buried inside the snow and they die. And this is like one of the most dangerous thing whenever this mountaineer, they are climbing to the different higher mountain peaks. So you have to remember this word, which is called as crevasses. If this word comes and if the question is they are related to which type of erosional or depositional feature, so here the region is your glacier, right? Fine. So just write down the this one, depositional feature of the glaciers. Now we will see about the depositional features of the glaciers. First one, write down moraines. Moraines. Depositional features of glacier. Inside first one, write down moraines. Write down moraines are the piles of dirt and rock. Piles of dirt and rock that are deposited by the glaciers, as it move across the landscape. As it move across the landscape. Okay, so these moraines, whenever there will be melt of this snow, there will be flow of water, and with this water there will be some dirt, there will be some snow, some rock material will be flowing with these streams kind of thing. So whenever there will be a deposition like near to these streams on these areas, they will be called as moraines. Okay, and on the basis of their structure, they are divided. Like we have lateral moraines, right? These kind of moraines, these are lateral moraines, like this, like wider region. Then we have medial between two streams. If there is this like accumulation of dirt thing, that will be medial. Then we have terminal moraines, which will be smaller in the structure. Then terminal moraine. Then you have ground moraine, recessional moraine. So these are the different types of the moraine, and moraine are nothing but a deposition of these dirt material, rocky material, or some big rocks, pebbles, stones, which is brought by the melting of these glaciers. So this is the first feature, which is called as moraines. Okay, next one, write down outwash plain. Next is outwash plain. Okay. Write down about the outwash plain. When the glacier reaches at its lowest point, and melts, it leaves behind a layered deposition of rock debris clay, sand, gravel, etc. Then it is called as outwash plain. Okay. So whenever there is a melting of these glaciers, then it will start flowing like a water, and with this water, when there is a flat surface will be made. Like we have delta, right? What rivers they do? They will bring everything with them, and they will deposit near to the mouth of the river. So due to that, there will be formation of delta. In the same way, when these glaciers, they will melt and they will start depositing all these sand, pebbles and everything near where there is a end of these glaciers. So they will make a flat land kind of structure. So that flat land kind of structure, it is called as outwash plains. Okay, fine. Next one, esker. Okay, fine. Here you can see some things. Esker. Write down about it. It is a widening ridge. Of deposition of rock. Widening ridge of deposition of rock, gravel, clay, etc. running along a glacier in an outwash plain. So that is esker. Esker is nothing but whenever there is a flow of these melted glaciers, what will happen with the water? Big rocks will be deposited there, and it will make a path kind of structure. Okay, from the glacier till the outwash plain, they will make a path kind of structure, and generally they are used for the formation of road. Whenever there is a construction of road, these eskers will be the places where there will be formation of road. Okay, in Himalayan, do we have road in Himalayan ranges? Do we have some roads? Yes. Okay, which is highest road in India, which is built by India? Which is at a highest altitude. Okay, in which place do we have? Ladakh. How many of you want to go to Ladakh? Why you want to go to Ladakh? Why you want to go to Ladakh? बहुत सारे YouTube में reels देखा है, Instagram में reels देखा है. People they are taking bikes and they are going to Ladakh. Lake है वहाँ पे एकदम fresh water lake. ऐसा सब देखा है. Very good. But why it is there that you don't, right? Fine. So if you see in Ladakh, we have the highest road which is made for the vehicle to move. Now these roads, they are made on this kind of natural phenomena. Okay, this kind of natural phenomena, these are used for the formation or making of the roads. Now this is called as esker. Next one, write down. So tomorrow you will tell me which is the highest road. In 2023, the government has inaugurated that road. Right on. The next one, drumlins. Drumlin. Here we have drumlin. Okay. It is an inverted boat shaped. Deposition. Inverted boat shaped deposition in an outwash plain. Inverted boat shape deposition in an outwash plain. So Again, this is a deposition of rocks and pebbles and all those things, but it will be in this particular shape. It will be in the shape of inverted bowl. So this is called as drumlin. Okay. Next one, cames. This cards or cames, they are both are. Okay, cames. Cames are number of ridges formed along an ice front. Formed along an ice front. Okay, so it's a kind of ridges kind of structure. Ridges means what?
Ups and downs.
Ups and downs. Or yeah. Again, in India, do we have ridges? Where? Eh? Ocean. Or mountain ridges. Eastern Ghats, Western Ghats. Or okay. Same which you are telling, this kind of structure, up and down kind of structure. So this is your ridges, the formation of mountain kind of structure, that is called as ridges, right? So that is what this due to the deposition of these materials, when there is this kind of structure, which is like a ridges kind of structure, that is called as cairns or caves. So this is all about the depositional features. Next one, you have erosional features. Erosional features. First one, U-shaped valley. U-shaped valley. U-shaped valley. Write down. Since glacial mass is heavy and slow moving, since glacial mass is heavy and slow moving, erosional activities are uniform. Erosional activities are uniform in all directions. In all directions. Okay, fine. So this kind of structure, can you see here? U-shaped, right? So this is what your U-shaped valleys are. Okay. From all the sides, there will be a equal kind of, and these glaciers, they are melting in a slow process. Okay, in a very slow process, these glaciers, they are melting. Whenever they melt, with this melted form of the glaciers, they are also eroding the rock surface. Now this rock surface is present beneath or the inside of this glacier cover. So that will be also getting eroded with the erosion of these glaciers, melting of these glaciers. So they will be formed something called as U-shaped valleys. Next, write down hanging valley. Hanging valley. क्या आना है जाना है ऐसा कुछ?
नाम एनसीसी खत्म हो गया.
Fine. Write down hanging valley. It is formed when tributary glaciers are unable to cut as deeply as main ones and remains hanging at higher levels than the main valley than the main valley. Then those are called as tributaries. Okay, fine. So here you have something called as hanging valleys. Suppose, okay, for example, suppose if there are some tributaries are what? What is the meaning of tributary? Tributary?
Mainly it is.
Okay, suppose if something main is there and something smaller which is coming and joining this. So same thing happens in the glaciers. Suppose if there is a main area which is melting down, okay, which is melting down. Now some smaller regions, some smaller glacier flow which will be also coming and trying to evade, trying to remove the pebbles, rocks, materials, but it will be not able to remove it completely. So some rocks will be there which will be in the form of hanging structure. Okay, it will be not fully broken, it will be not fully carried out with this flowing this glacial water. They will be in a hanging structure. So that will be called as what? Hanging valleys. Fine. Next, write down creek and tarn. Creek and tarn. Creek, here you have creeks and here you have tarn. Okay, it is a steep sided slope. It is a steep sided slope. Steep sided slope on three sides. On three sides. An open end on one side and a flat bottom Next line, when the creek's ice melts, it develops into a tarn lake. Right? So can you see this arm kind of structure? Like you have chair, the chair arms are there, right? So can you see this kind of structure? So this is called as creek. Now this area is made up because here this glacier, it is melting. Okay, this white one is a glacier and the side one, this black one region, it is the formed due to the melt of these glaciers. So whenever these glaciers they will melt, they will make this kind of structure. So these are creeks, and when there is a deposition of water inside the creek, so that will be called as tarn. Okay, or tarn lake. That is your tarn. Okay. Next one, arids. Okay, it is a steep-sided, sharp-tipped, saw-toothed, T-O-O-T-H, ridges which have undergone glacial erosion from two sides. And that is what it is called as arids. So here there will be a glacier, and continuously this glacier will be melting and cutting the side edges of this higher region. So these side edges, it will be like a comb kind of structure. You have seen comb, it will be, now you know, right? I cannot draw that. Okay, fine. So that kind of structure will be formed near this, the main glacier. So this region, this spikes kind of thing, they will be called as arid. Okay, they will be the formation of this sharp kind of structure. It will be called as arids. Right? Next, horn, HORN, horn. Horn. Write down. If the summit of the arid, is roughly inclined, it gives rise to pyramidal peaks, which is known as horns. So, whenever the glacier will be cutting, if there is this kind of structure which is remaining, which is a pyramid kind of structure, so that structure will be called as a horn. Okay. Next one, new natak. Write down new natak. A rock mass surrounded by ice. Rock mass surrounded by ice. Suppose if everywhere there is ice, but there is a rock mass in between, which is like bare, which does not have a ice. So that area will be called as new. Next, Zord. Write down. It is formed as steep-sided, narrow entrance like features at the coast of a glaciated region where the stream meets the coast. So it is called as Jord. Now what is Jord? All the glaciers, they will be meeting somewhere with a huge amount of water. It may be some oceans, or it may be formation of some rivers, right? Like if we have, if you talk about Ganga, if you talk about Indus, if you talk about Brahmaputra, these all rivers, they are what? They are originated in the glaciers, right? So whenever this stream of these glaciers, they are meeting to the coast. Coast means an area which is a larger water body. So if they are meeting, so that meeting structure, it is called as Jord. Okay, it is called as Jord. So these are the erosional features of your glacier, right? Erosional features of glacier. Fine. So what all we have seen? Okay, we have seen what is glaciers, right? Then what are the types of the glaciers? Then we have seen some depositional features of the glaciers. In depositional features, we have seen something like this, right? We have seen moraines, we have seen caves, we have seen this ester, drumlin, right? So outwash plain. These are the some depositional features which we have seen. Then we have seen some erosional features, right? Erosional features like you have arid, tarn, horn, creeks. All these things are there, hanging valley, and all those things are there. Okay, U-shaped valley, hanging valley. So this is all about the depositional and erosional features of the glaciers, right? Fine. Now next one, write down. Next topic or next this thing. Okay, it is called as karst topography. Karst topography. Or in simple terms, it is called as groundwater. It's called as groundwater. Fine. So, can you tell me what are the effects which will be made through the groundwater? Anyone? Okay, inside the ground, do we have something called as groundwater? How this groundwater is formed? Rain. So after rain, what happens? Okay, in I think 7th or 8th standard science book, have you seen that rock table, that chart is there, right? The basic, flat surface will be, soil will be there. That is called as something related to soil, that is there. So have you seen that chart? Have you seen that chart? Okay, how does it look like? What will be the first layer? Soil. Then pebbles, small rock, then big rock, then bigger rock. This is not grammar class. Bigger like that you will tell. Then after that, what you will find? Have you seen the water table chart? Okay. So how this groundwater, it goes inside, how it percolates inside this ground. Now here it is raining. Which all places this water be? River. Soil. Or plant. Plants, they will absorb the water. That is what you are telling. Then? So plant does not absorb the sewage. Half of the water it will go in. That is the one thing, right? But some of the water it will be absorbed by the earth. So now when earth will absorb this water, it will do something inside the earth, inside the ground. There will be some formation, some deposition, right? Those things will be there, right? Okay. Can anyone tell me how these caves are formed? Caves. How these caves? Have you visited any famous cave? सब चीज में नहीं चलेगा. Have you seen caves? Or how many of you went to that Ajanta Ellora wala trip? चले गए सारे नहीं है. Nobody went. You bet. Okay. Oh, so no one has seen caves. Photo में देखा? Okay. So what is it? Whatever the origin of the human being, it has started from the cave, right? Acha, how many of you visited zoo? Zoo. Didn't feel the need to visit. Here only you have seen online. Okay. So those who have went to zoo, that lion will be there, right? Where he will be living? Cave. So have you seen that cave? But that is man-made. Okay. So like this we have the natural caves will be there. Now how these caves will be formed?
Deposition of rock, deposition.
Okay. Deposition of rock. So big rocks they will go deposit somewhere and the formation of caves will be there.
One type.
Water. What water will do? Erosional features, right? Suppose if there's a big rock mass will be there, so water will start percolating and it will start eroding some rock material. When it will start eroding that rock material, what will happen? There will be kind of feature will be formed, and these features are called as caves. Okay, so that is one thing. Like this, we have many other things. Okay, like this, we have many other formation due to this ground water. Okay, so inside the earth, now inside the earth, you have different types of rocks are present. Okay, some will be clay in the structure, some will be graphite. Okay, like this, we have different materials, different rocks which are formed by the different materials. Okay, and these rocks, they always behave as per the whatever the content of these rocks are there. Okay, so due to this content, there will be some different formation of these rocks. Inside the rock, there will be some different pattern will be formed. So that pattern, it is formed due to the erosional and depositional features of groundwater. Okay. So though you have not seen caves, so I cannot explain you more about the caves how these are formed. So we will see here. Okay. So this formation, it is called as karst topography. Okay. This is more in detail. Have you seen this kind of structure? This kind of structure. Have you seen? Very good. So what you are seeing? That is my question. What do you see? हैं? क्या देखते क्या हो? गेम खेलते हो? वो मुझे पता है. और क्या करते हो? इंस्टाग्राम कितने चलाते हो? How many of you have Instagram? बाकी सारे है ना? Proudly you should say that. Instagram नहीं. Then don't worry, I'll get your ID. Somewhere I will found you in Instagram. You use Instagram, right? So you will be following some UPSC page, some defense related page, some current affairs wala page, and believe me, you will not crack. So that is from my side. Believe me, you will not crack. Okay. So if you are following some what is it? Some pages are there, na? Within fraction of second, you will get all the current affairs, right? Within a fraction of second, you will get all these images, right? INS Tarangini, then something, Air Force, Marshal or something, some news will be there, right? The least you watch these images, the least it will retain inside your brain. Okay? It doesn't matter if whole day you are scrolling Instagram and if you are thinking that my current affairs are prepared, it is the biggest mistake which you are doing. Okay? So don't follow all these things. Okay? I cannot use good words here, but don't follow all these things in your Instagram and all. Instagram is for entertainment, right? And with entertainment, if you think you can study or you can do something great, it is not possible. For studying proper, if you want to study, you have to read current affairs from your newspaper and all. Okay, that is the best thing. But if you are following Instagram, at least follow some channels like Discovery Channel is there, right? Some World Geography things are there, right? Some NASA has this one Instagram. ISRO has Instagram, right? So they are having some official pages, right? They are having some official pages. Or some states like Tamil Nadu has their tourism page, Kerala has their tourism page. So if you follow these pages, automatically by looking to their whatever the reels or whatever the pictures are there, you will understand some kind of journey. If you don't understand, then also that image will be there inside your brain. Okay, but if you are reading that current affairs within 2 minutes or not 2 minutes, even 10 seconds also you are not watching, I think. So it will never retain. Okay, remember that. So today go and unfollow all those pages, right? Though maybe I'm making their more customers to leave their pages, but it's okay, right? Okay, that is not at all useful, right? So that is the thing. But if you would have followed some tourism places and all, you would have seen this kind of structure, right? Okay. Have you seen this kind of structure? Have you seen this kind of structure? Where you have seen? Huh? Brick. Clear. Okay. और any other place? हाँ अभी देखा है. हाँ अभी तो मैंने दिखाया है, इसके पहले कहीं देखा है. अच्छा, how many of you are like proud Hindus here? Like they are very proud. अरे भाई रिलीजन है नहीं है? छोड़ दिया रिलीजन. हाँ हिंदू. अरे whatever your religion, you should be proud for that. हाँ whatever your religion. अच्छा बड़े proud वाले. Okay, tell me some holy places for Hindus. अच्छा those who are telling, they have to tell me at which state, at which place they are located. Okay? एक एक करके. And if they are telling wrong, you have to tell that more things. Okay? हाँ बोलो. एक एक करके बोलो. Wait. One by one. हाँ बोलो सच्चे. You're telling something. अमरनाथ, where it is? श्रीनगर. जम्मू कश्मीर. जम्मू कश्मीर में अमरनाथ. डिसाइड कर लो. जम्मू कश्मीर अलग है, लद्दाख अलग है. हाँ. और उसके ऊपर चाइना अलग है. और थोड़ा सा जम्मू कश्मीर पाकिस्तान की बात हुई है. अब बोलो अब किधर है अमरनाथ? अच्छा ठीक है, अमरनाथ और केदारनाथ. केदारनाथ. अरे आई एम आस्किंग very holy places which are very famous. Like before that you have to go to those places to prove that you are Hindu. Munagiri Khan. मसूरी देहरादून के पास क्या है? You have to tell me the exact place. भाई you are proud Hindu, right? हाँ. Munagiri किधर? उत्तराखंड में किधर? ये सही बता रहा. और अरे come out from कर्नाटका. एक करके. मेरा बता. ओ हीरो. हरिद्वार. why it is famous हरिद्वार? गंगा है कानपुर में भी. why हरिद्वार is famous? महादेव. जो कैलाश पर्वत में कौन है? महादेव पट्टू. why हरिद्वार is famous? Why Amarnath is famous? Why Badrinath is famous? Why Kedarnath is famous? And recently Shahrukh Khan has visited Vaishno Devi, right? वो तो देखा होगा ना reels में. Shahrukh Khan is visiting Vaishno Devi. So where is Vaishno Devi? How many of you visited that place? Anyone? Vaishno Devi. So that Devi is inside the cave or outside the cave?
Inside the cave.
Why? Why only inside the cave? बात ठंडी लगती है. Why inside? अच्छा अमरनाथ. Have you seen picture? It is inside the cave or outside the cave? Inside the cave. क्यों? Why inside the cave? Why not outside the cave? Huh? Nature cave. So nature is what? What is nature? So water is Shiva, and Shiva is water. हाँ. क्या? घर cave में क्यों है? That is what I am asking. Why that घर is inside the cave? Why not it is इतना बड़ा अमरनाथ, इतना बड़ा हिमालयन है? Why not somewhere else? Why inside the cave? So that people will not disturb. The nature does not affect. अरे it is made up of nature. Then nature should not affect. Protection, security के लिए. भगवान को protection चाहिए. पीस मिलता है. भगवान को पीस चाहिए तो हम भगवान के पास पीस के ले जाते हैं. Fine. Whatever these holy shivling, if you have seen, these are made up of some natural phenomena, and majority of these places they are made due to this cast erosion or this groundwater. This is the region. Can you see this curtain? This is the region behind that Amarnath shivling. That Amarnath shivling, every year it is made up of ice, right? Every year it will be forming and every year it will be melting. The Amarnath, the place, it is not open for whole year. Okay, it is not open 365 days. It is open only in some seasons, right? Only 2 months, 3 months that Amarnath is open. Why? Because only during that time. Generally it is during the summer time. Okay, only during that time it will be open. And why it is open? Because this structure, it is formed due to the formation of the water. Okay, whenever this water will get frozen, okay, inside the earth, inside the cave, so it will make this kind of structure. And this is what I am telling. This is all whatever that. If you say to your parents, this is not Amarnath, this is past topography. Agle din bahar. Okay, so that will be the situation. But for as a knowledgeable person, you should understand why these things are formed, right? Then, what is this? Have you seen this kind of structure? Caves? Inside the caves? Okay. So this is like you have something called as stalactite, stalagmite. Okay, then you have pillars. These things are there. Whenever the water will enter inside the rock, what it will do? It will start this with this water. This content which is present is like magnesium. Then you have graphite. This kind of rock, they will start melting. They will start melting. The water will be started dripping from the top. So with that dripping water, this calcium will be started depositing from the top of the surface as well as at the same time from the bottom of the surface. So this is what your stalactite, stalagmite. Then whenever these both they will join, it will be called as a pillar. So these are something which is formed due to the groundwater. Okay, this is due to the groundwater, or it is also called as karst topography. Understood? So these are some features which are formed due to the karst topography. Fine? Fine. Just write down the introduction about the karst topography. The word karst, K-A-R-S. The word karst means rocky mountains. Means rocky mountains. Any limestone, dolomite, any limestone, dolomite, gypsum, region, shows, typical landforms, produced by the action of groundwater through the process of solution and deposition.